Alright folks, I've got to talk about something that's been like all over the news lately. It's this new AI model from China called Deepseek. Yeah, Deepseek. You might have heard of it. It's been getting a lot of attention, and honestly, it's making waves in a big way. Like this thing just dropped its version 3.0, and let me tell you, the performance is pretty impressive. It's going head-to-head with some of the biggest models out there right now, including OpenAI's ChatGPT, Meta's Llama 3.0, and Anthropic's Claude 3.5. So yeah, people are talking about it. Now, you might be asking, what's so special about DeepSeek? Well, here's the kicker. This AI model is achieving some of the same, if not better, results than the big players in the AI game, but it's doing it at a fraction of the cost. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking way less money. That's got everyone, including me, really paying attention. So let's break it down and see why everyone is flipping out about this. What makes DeepSeek different? So first things first. DeepSeek isn't just another AI model that can, write some fancy text or answer a few questions. It's actually a large language model that's outperforming a bunch of competitors in specific areas. This thing is really standing out in math and programming tasks. That's impressive, right? I'm not even gonna lie. We've got this chart, and it compares DeepSeek 3.0 to its earlier version, DeepSeek 2.5, and a bunch of other big models in the field. We've got Alibaba's Qianwen, Meta's Llama 3.1, OpenAI's GPT-4, and Anthropic's Claude 3.5 all in the mix. And when you look at it, DeepSeek is pretty much on par with everyone else. Now let's dive into the specifics of what DeepSeek can do. First, check this out. When it comes to things like math problems and programming, it's dominating. We've got benchmarks like Math 500, which is a test with 500 math problems. This is about mathematical reasoning. And guess who's at the top? Yep, DeepSeek. Then there's AIM 2024, which is a really tough American math competition. DeepSeek is performing at a super high level there too. It's killing it. On top of that, it's excelling in Codeforces, which is a benchmark for programming tasks. So yeah, when it comes to stuff like math and coding, DeepSeek is kind of setting the bar right now. But that's not all. It's also pretty good at things like multitask understanding and solving complex problems, which are kind of key things in the world of AI. It's a solid performer across the board. But what's really catching people's attention is the speed and cost efficiency of this thing. And that's where it gets interesting. DeepSeek's secret weapon is cost efficiency. Let's talk about training costs for a second, because here's where things get really mind-blowing. The training process for DeepSeek 3.0 was ridiculously efficient. They used 2,048 GPUs for a 2-month training period, which, when you do the math, is about 2.78 million GPU hours. Now that might sound like a lot, but compare that to Meta's Llama 3.1, which took 30.8 million GPU hours. That's more than 10 times the amount of time it took to train DeepSeek. And here's the crazy part, DeepSeek didn't even use the latest and greatest chips. They used H800 GPUs, which are, basically a lower-tier version of the H100 GPUs that the other models used. So yeah, they trained this thing faster, on less powerful hardware, and still achieved results that are on par with the big names. That's pretty wild. But what's even crazier? The training cost. DeepSeek's training bill? A measly $5.57 million. Sounds like a lot, right? But compare that to OpenAI's GPT-4 or Meta's Llama, where the training costs are in the hundreds of millions. So yeah, DeepSeek only costs about 1% of what the other models cost to train. And it's performing at the same level. That's a massive advantage. Here's another kicker. DeepSeek is open source. Yeah, that's right. They've made the code and the training methods publicly available. Anyone can access it. And that's not something you see every day. Most models out there, like GPT-4 and Claude, are closed source, meaning they don't share their code. They keep everything behind closed doors. But with DeepSeek, it's like the code is out there for everyone to see. That's a huge deal. For one, it means anyone can use it for free. If you're a developer, you can take that code, tweak it, improve it, and make it work for whatever you need. And for the company behind DeepSeek, being open source means they've got transparency. People can see exactly how it works, which is great for building trust. People are more likely to use something they can actually see and understand. It's like when you buy a car, you want to see under the hood, right? Same thing here. You want to trust the AI that you're using, and DeepSeek makes it easy for people to do that. Alright, so DeepSeek's got some serious strengths, but don't get me wrong, it's not flawless. There are a few things that need work. First, let's talk about response speed. Now, on average, DeepSeek's initial response time is about 1.1 seconds. Not horrible, but GPT-4 and Claude are both under 1 second. So yeah, DeepSeek is just a tiny bit slower, but honestly, it's nothing most people would really notice. The difference is so small, it's like, who even cares? But there's one thing that might get a little annoying. It's about context length. So, every large language model has a limit on how much context it can process in one go. That means the longer your conversation goes on, the more likely it is that the model will forget some of the earlier details. Now, DeepSeek can handle about 130,000 tokens, which is, okay. But GPT-4 and Claude can handle up to 2 million tokens. That's a huge difference. And when DeepSeek hits its limit, it's like, all right, start a new conversation. That's definitely annoying. Especially if you're in the middle of a longer conversation, you've got to restart. Not ideal, but something they could probably improve. And there was this other thing where at one point, if you asked DeepSeek, what model are you? It would sometimes say, I'm ChatGPT. Yeah, that was a weird moment. They've fixed that though. Now it correctly says, I'm DeepSeek. But still, kind of a funny little glitch. So, now that we know what DeepSeek is doing, let's talk about how it's going to affect the broader AI industry. First of all, this could totally disrupt the way companies use AI. Right now, big companies are making most of their money by charging businesses to use their models through API calls. That's how OpenAI and Anthropic make a lot of their cash. They charge businesses based on usage. Here's where DeepSeek really shakes things up. Since it's so much cheaper to operate, its API fees are way lower. Like it charges about $0.10 to $1 for every 1 million tokens input into the model, and $2 for every 1 million tokens output. Compare that to GPT-4, which charges about $5 to input and $15 to output. So DeepSeek's API fees are about 10% of GPT-4's. That's like a massive price advantage. So if you're a company looking for AI tech, and you've got the choice between DeepSeek and GPT-4, you're probably going with DeepSeek. It's just cheaper. This is going to create a price war between AI providers. Companies are going to have to lower their prices to stay competitive, and that's going to make AI more accessible, which is, a win for everyone. And then, let's talk about hardware for a second. DeepSeek trained on these H800 GPUs, which are a bit older. But guess what? It still performed like a champ. This could mean that mid-tier GPUs are more than capable of running AI models at a high level. It's kind of flipping the script on the idea that you need top-tier hardware to build a really powerful AI model. So, yeah, DeepSeek is pretty impressive. It's cheaper, faster, and more open than a lot of the competition. It's also kind of forcing the AI and chip industries to rethink their pricing and their hardware strategies. Is it going to beat GPT-4 and Claude in the long run? Who knows? But it's definitely forcing everyone to raise their game. And that's exciting.